melody is taken from a song called Shyamasundara, so the dark, beautiful one. So we'll start with that, but then we'll switch it out to the Maha Mantra so we can all sing together. Shyamasundara Madana Mohana Jago Murela Hari Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Bolo Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Bolo. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Shyama Sundara Madana Mohana Jago Murelal.
Shyama Sundara Madana Mohana
Jago Murelal. Shyama Sundara,
Shyama Sundara
Shyama Sundara Madana Mohana Jago Murelal. Haribol. Haribol. So lovely to see you guys. It really
Yes.
warms our heart to see you.
Thank you for joining us.
And thank you to everyone also on YouTube and Facebook. Special thank you to the Zoom Bhaktas, because we get to see you and we get to feel those feelings of connection. So
All the way
thank
from
you.
Sydney and Germany.
What? Northern and Southern Hemisphere?
Yes. Kirtan across the equator.
Exactly. Kirtan across the world. So this particular melody comes from a song. It's a beautiful brandish, and it's Shyamasundara Madana Mohana. And the lyrics talk about Shyam, like blackish, or so dark like a rain cloud. And Sundara means beautiful, so it's the beautiful dark one, and it's describing Krishna. And saying Madana Mohana, so Madana is Cupid, but Mohana, Krishna is so beautiful that he even bewilders Cupid. So even, the demigod of love, Cupid, who goes around flinging arrows at everyone, is completely bewildered by Krishna. But one little tidbit is that Radharani, the goddess of love, is Madana Mohan Mohini. So Krishna's beautiful, but even he's enchanted by Radha. And then this song also talks about that he is Mohana Murali Wala. So he's the enchanting flute player. And it says, wake up and come to me, my darling one. So it's a love song to Krishna. And the melody itself is in Bhairavi Raag. And so Bhairavi Raag is an interesting rag. It is the feminine goddess rag version of Bhairav. So Bhairav is known as Adi Rag, or the first rag, and Bhairavi is the consort to Bhairav. So Bhairav is Shiva, and Bhairavi she is Mahakali, she is Parvati, she is Mahashakti, whereas we've got a picture of Bhairavi
Coming soon, yes.
coming to a town near you.
Yes.
So all the gods and goddesses, they have particular mounts, if you like. So Shiva, his mount is Nandi, the bull, right? And Bhairavi, her mount is the lotus, and she lives in Kailash. Let's get a picture of Bhairavi up
You want
here.
Bhairavi first? Okay.
Yeah.
Here's Bhairavi.
Where is she? There she is.
There she is.
Hello, Goddess Bhairavi.
And just a quick shout out to Stephanie and Jay and Bradley, who are saying hi.
How wonderful.
And to Abhimanyu as well.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
So here is Bhairavi
And
on the screen.
behind us actually is her yantra. So the next picture is her yantra. So a yantra is a visual form of a mantra. So she has her own beach mantra, Bhairavi. I profess that I don't know it off by heart, but this is her yantra. And so Bhairavi, So this is the goddess behind Bhairavi Raag. But the Raag itself is I've heard some differing opinions on this, but my teacher and most of the texts that I've studied say that Bhairavi is an early morning Raag. It's in the first prahar of the day. And so prahar, what is this? This is times of the day, and it's considered that there are 4 prahars in the daytime and 4 prahars in the night. And interestingly, if you live on the equator, the daytime prahars and the nighttime prahars will be equal, divided equally. But if you live in, say, Sweden, where depending on the season, your days might be very, very long and your nights very short, or conversely in winter, the nights are very long, the prahars won't be, the daytime and the nighttime prahars won't be equal. They were created as a system to divide up daytime and nighttime. So Bhairavi is in the first prahar of the day, and even here there's some disagreement. Some scholars say that the first prahar is sunrise, and they say roughly 6 a.m. to 9 a.m., but Vaishnavas consider the first prahar to be the Brahma Muhurta hour, which is technically an hour and 36 minutes before sunrise. So this Brahma Muhurta hour, or the time of the Creator, is considered a very spiritually infused, very, very high spiritual Shakti in the Brahma Muhurta hour, where meditation, japa, any form of yoga, these are all very heightened and surcharged during the Brahma Muhurta hour. I can honestly say mostly my sleep is surcharged during the Brahma Muhurta hour. When I was a brahmacharini, I was up, but I have to say I need to get a little better at being up during Brahma Muhurta. I was good when we were living in Queensland with no daylight savings. I was better there. But that's the Brahma Muhurta hour, and so Bhairavi is considered in the first prahara of the day. So, and we'll get a little bit more into Bhairavi in a minute, but back to the song. So this is about Shyamasundara, and it's interesting because it's talking about Krishna being so beautiful, and the name Krishna actually means the all-attractive. So it's a descriptive name of God, which is saying he's just so beautiful, he's so attractive. And it's interesting, it says in the scriptures that jewels and ornaments bedeck Krishna's body, or God's body. But he's so beautiful that instead of the ornaments ornamenting him, he's so beautiful that he makes the ornaments more attractive. So he's like, his body is the ornament for the jewelry. And there are different Radha Shyamasundars around the world, and just a few very important ones. In Krishna Balaram Mandir in Vrindavan, the main altar has Krishna Balaram, and on the left is Gauranitai, and on the right is Sri Sri Radha Shyamasundara. And this is, once you go past Prabhupada's Samadhi and you go in, the temple room is laid out like this. And then there is also a Sri Sri Radha Shyamasundara in New Ramanreti in Alachua, Florida, which is the largest spiritual community in the Western world. So many devotees. And this is where the Mayapuris live, yes, mostly. So it's even more ecstatic.
Absolutely.
Can you imagine the Kirtans in Alachua? Forget about it, right? And so there are beautiful Radha Shyamasundara deities there.
And these are the deities that you see on the screen with a blue background.
So beautiful, really beautiful. And I think there's one more of Krishna from Alachua. Go to the next one. I think that one is, yes. So this is like a close-up of Krishna from Alachua. And
so beautiful.
He's really, he's got a much thinner nose. Like, you know how the deities, they all have their own personalities? There's another very special Radha Shyamasundara in Vrindavan, and this is very unusual deity. He almost looks Turkish. He looks like he's got his fez hat. He's so attractive, and his tilak was given by Radharani herself. He's considered a deity that was manifested from the heart of Radharani, and there's a whole pastime here, which I encourage you to look up. Look up the pastime of Shyamasundara from the temple in Vrindavan. Krishna Das, who is part of Chaitanya Leela, he was gifted this deity and was known thereafter as Shyamananda. And
it's so beautiful. And unique.
This deity manifested to him, was given to him by Radharani. And because what had happened was, he used to clean the area for the Rasa Leela, and Radharani left one of her ankle bells, and he was cleaning and he found it, and the gopis came back to claim it, and he was like, no, I'll wait for the real owner to come back. So Radha had to come and herself, and then because he knew this was very special, so his tilak is actually Radharani's foot. So anyway, it's a really enchanting deity. So I just want to read, because I'll be honest, I see the deities and they're beautiful, but Krishna hasn't really revealed his form to me. So I just want to read some of the quotes of his beauty, because I think the scriptures can say it way better than me, and Prabhupada can say it way better than me. So, where is it? Ornaments caress Krishna's body, but the transcendental body of Krishna is so beautiful that it beautifies the ornaments he wears. Therefore, God's body is said to be the ornament of the ornaments, enhancing the wonderful beauty of God in his three curved style of standing, the Tribhangi form. Above all these features, Krishna's eyes dance and move obliquely, acting like arrows to pierce the minds of Srimati Radharani and the gopis. When the arrow succeeds in hitting its target, their minds become agitated. And Srimad Bhagavatam says, Krishna is the reservoir of all beauty. All beautiful things emanate from God. And God's personal form is so attractive that it steals the eyes away from all other objects, which then seem devoid of beauty in comparison. When Krishna was on the earth, he attracted the eyes of all people. And when he spoke, his words attracted the minds of all who remembered them. By seeing the footsteps of Krishna, people became attracted. And then lastly, when we are attracted by Madana Mohan and the beauty of God and his consorts, the material things cannot attract us. So if we can think of the most beautiful thing, that is what apparently God looks like. So it's a nice thing to meditate on. And Krishna means all attractive. So he's a very sweet and nectarian form of the Lord. And every form has its own, internal and external reason. So Krishna is especially beautiful. So going back to the rag itself, let's go over Bhairavi and how it is constructed. So the jati is Sampurna. So the jati is a way of classification, and I'd like to demystify some of these things because I want us to be able to talk like this to each other. I don't want you thinking, oh, she's very clever because she knows these words. I actually would like you to demystify that so we can all just speak and just understand what we're saying. So the jati is just how many notes are going up in the arohi and how many notes are featured coming down. So some rags you might have 5 notes up and 7 notes down. They might miss some notes. But Bhairavi has 7 notes up, 7 notes down, so it's called Sampurna Sampurna. 7 up, 7 down.
You can see the sargam on the screen. It's Bhairavi Rag and then Arohi and Saregama Padanisa, Abrohi, Sanidapa Magaresa.
And Shuddha swaras are natural, meaning they are voiced naturally. Most of the movable notes or swaras in Bhairavi are komal or flat. So they are voiced like this. Sa re ga ma pa da ni sa sa ni na pa ma ga re sa. Let's do it together. There's some oscillating on re and da. Sa re ga ma pa da ni sa sa ni na pa ma ga re sa. Sa re ga ma pa da ni sa sa ni na pa ma ga re sa. So we can do akar or a. So the Vadi is the most prominent note, and in Bhairavi it's Ma, and the Samvadi, or the second most prominent note, is Sa. The Vishranti Stan, the notes that you can rest on, take a breath on and hang out on, that is Sa, Ma, Pa, and coming down, Sa, Pa, Ma. So these are areas where in the alaps or in the tans you can rest and take a note, or you can sort of milk those notes, and that will give Bhairavi its personality.
Its character.
Interestingly, Bhairavi is also, it's very accommodating, because even natural re and natural da are used as ornaments within a melody. So even though we said, oh, they're all flat, lo and behold, you can actually use natural re and natural da as some melodic variations. And we find Bhairavi is such a popular rag. Actually, if you sang so many of the songs or the kirtans that you know, you might discover, oh my gosh, that's Bhairavi. Oh my gosh, that's Bhairavi. So there are so many popular melodies that are in Bhairavi. And even though it is a rag for the first prahara of the day, it's also in usage, happens to be featured at the end of concerts. So you'll hear it at all times of the day as well. And it is a peaceful, sometimes sad, it's got a lot of personality. The presiding rasas are Karuna or compassion, and Bhakti or devotion. So there's a lot that can go on there with Bhakti and also Karuna. Let's
Compassion.
See. Compassion. It is Phrygian in Western. It's one of the church modes. Whatever that means. Because you studied it.
It's the Bhakti element.
Yeah, it's the Bhakti element. It's the church mode. So, so with that, if we try to think, if we're singing the Maha Mantra, which is essentially comprised of 3 words, Krishna, Rama, and Hare. So Krishna, as we just talked about, means all attractive. Rama is the reservoir of all pleasure. So once you've been attracted and you're feeling all those great feelings, that reservoir of pleasure is described as Rama. And these are qualities of the god of love. Hare is another, is a way of calling out in yearning to Hara, which is Radha, the goddess of love. Not to be confused with Hara, which is something else, but Hara is Radha. So it is the push and the pull of the love between the god of love and the goddess of love. And sometimes love is in union, Hare Krishna, and sometimes love is in separation, Krishna, Krishna, Hare, Hare. So it's that infinite loop of love. And my Param Guru said that, because everyone said, what does it mean? What does it mean? And he said, it is a prayer to be in the service of love. And so when we sing it, we can try to call that into our lives, and not just to feel that love, which is also important, but to try to be in the service of it to others, but also to yourself, to awaken that sense of love. Our reporter once asked Prabhupada, what's the goal of life? And he said, to enjoy. And the reporter thought, oh, that's a really weird. I thought, don't you make people get up at 4 o'clock in the morning? And he said, but you have to know how to enjoy. And the way to enjoy is by singing and dancing and celebrating love, right?
Infinite love.
Infinite love.
Yes.
Like Bob Marley.
And this is why I want to have us focus on these beautiful deities.
Nice.
To remind ourselves.
So let's sing this mantra again, and this time we can incorporate the mood of Bhairavi. And also you probably noticed that the tala, or the rhythm of this, is not your normal ching, 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 ching. It's not in 4/4, it's in 3/4. So if you're playing karatalas at home, it's 3-1, 3-1-2, 3-1-2, 3-1-2.
Close, open. Close, open, 2. Close, open, 2.
3-1-2-3. And if you're playing mrdanga, you can play simply Bengali ektal, so ga tira ga ti ta ta ga tira ga ti ta ta, or you can play ektal, which is din din da ge teriketa tu na na kat ta da ge teriketa di na na. So play along, sing along, and because the more you play and sing along, the more it's a party.
Yes, yes.
So we'll sing this, and then afterwards we'll wrap up telling about a couple of days ago was a special person's appearance day, special person's birthday. So the words are Shyamasundara, Madana Mohana, Jago, Morelal. Shyamasundara, Madana Mohana, Jago, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Shyama Sundara Madana Mohana Jago Murelal.
Shyama Sundara Madana Mohana Jagu
Murelal. Shyama Sundara.
Sundara
Shyama Sundara Madana Mohana Jago Murelal.
Haribol!
Haribo.
Shyama Sundara.
Shyamasundara.
So beautiful.
Whenever we see dark rain clouds, we can think, oh, Shyamasundara.
So nice to see you, my friends, on Zoom. It's so inspiring to see you singing. It's so lovely. There's no words to describe us doing this together.
A couple of days ago was the appearance day of Shrivas Pandit. So you know how we've got the Maha mantra, but then there's also the Pancha Tattva mantra. You know, Jaya Shri Krishna, Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhara, Shrivas Adi, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. And so, you know, it's said in doing any kind of spiritual practice, you've sort of got to watch your P's and Q's a little bit, you know. Don't kick the altar. Like, there are certain things that you got to just be a bit careful. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so merciful that when you chant the Panchatattva mantra, there's no way you can go wrong. So it's even recommended that you can chant the Panchatattva mantra first before chanting the Maha mantra, because then you can't get anything wrong. It's a nice recommended practice. So within the Panchatattva is, and we can go to that picture, sort of like the 5 points of the star. We have Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda, Sri Advaita, Gadadhara, Shrivas Pandit. So the bald one, which is often everybody in the room, but in this case it's not. It's the one on the right-hand side. This is Shrivas Pandit or Shrivas Thakur, and he was very instrumental in this art of Kirtan, because it was in his house that Chaitanya started his Kirtan school and had very tumultuous Kirtans every night, so much so that the neighbors complained. And they complained to the mayor at the time, so the Chankazi, who actually sent some people around to break the mrdangas because there was too much partying going on at Srivas's crib. And but then Chaitanya took the whole kirtan over to Chankazi's place, and they actually had a sit down and they talked about it, and he explained what they were doing, and the Chankazi was like, oh gosh, I'm really sorry. Me and all my descendants will never interrupt your kirtan again. Like, God bless, we love what you're doing. And so then the kirtans were never disturbed again. But sort of when you consider, and so many kind of esoteric pastimes happened at Srivas's place. So it was his appearance day a couple of days ago. So we like to give a shout out to these sort of divine personalities. And
Yes.
he is Jiva Tattva, so he is, I don't want to say he's a regular person, but in the sense that he's not a divine incarnation per se. He's not an avatar. He didn't come down. He is just a regular spirit soul that was infused with so much bhakti that he was elevated to this position. But it is said that he's an incarnation of Narada Muni, who is the transcendental sadhu who travels around the universe inspiring people in their spiritual lives. So he does have a divine personality as well.
Absolutely.
So it's lovely to think about these great bhakti yogis who came many centuries before and who inspire us in our modern day kirtans now. They couldn't perhaps have imagined that we would be doing it over the internet, but however you can do it, you do it.
Yes, and for those of you watching on Facebook or YouTube, you can email us at krishnakirtanmusic@gmail. You see it right there on the screen, so you can join our beautiful community of friends. It's so sweet.
And we keep it private just so that it's a sacred space, and the feed stays private, and then we hang out afterwards and we go over any
questions.
Any questions.
Any questions about the pastimes
and just check
and
in
about
with
the
each other.
Ragas. Yes. And also, to let you know, we have a goal to record 108 different melodic versions of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and you can listen to them for free. The link is right there below. Is youtube.com/C/Krishna Kirtan Music, and we have that Maha Mantra only playlist, and also we have these same classes where you can listen to all the classes that we've been doing, which all of them are different rags.
Yeah, they're all different melodies.
Or melodies, because actually...
So far.
Yes.
So, well, this is a repeat rag, but a different melody. And a
Thank
different
you.
tala. Yeah.
Yes. And also, if you like to support what we do in this super goal to record 108 different versions of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, we welcome your support at paypal.me/Krishna Kirtan Music for any amount of your choice, no pressure, and or patreon.com/Krishna Kirtan Music, and that's a subscription base that is recurring on a monthly basis. So those are the two links, and once again, regardless, you're always welcome to join the class here on Zoom, and the email, just email us with your first name, last name,
And why you want to join, so we know you're not a bot.
a robot.
Yes.
A robot.
And going to bomb our Zoom class.
So that's the email.
And also we have 2 times, 7 p.m. Sydney time, whatever that is in your world, and also 7 p.m. and always Wednesday. 7 p.m. Wednesday Sydney time, Australia, and then 7 p.m. Wednesday Los Angeles time. So interestingly, if you're in Australia, that becomes kind of Thursday. So there are 2 times just in case one time works better for you than the other time.
Yes, so set up your Kirtan alarm.
Yeah.
Make a mrdanga or a karatalas. So thank you very much for you on YouTube and Facebook, and for our friends on Zoom, please stick around. I'm gonna unmute you shortly. Hari Bol, Hare Krishna, and hope to see you next week.
Hari Bol. So goodbye Facebook, goodbye YouTube.